All right, guys, I have a fantastic video today because Opendoor just crushed earnings across the board, and I want to talk about that in this video, give you a good update on ticker symbol OPEN, so stick around. Hey guys, welcome back to the TipRanks YouTube channel. I'm Richard Allen. Thank you so much for joining me for another video. We're going to talk about Opendoor technologies in this video. If you take a peek right here at tipranks.com, right on the main page, you can see that OPEN is the #1 spot after hours, up 16.5% as of recording this video. And all the major indices were down really bad today. And actually, Opendoor was down today 7% during normal trading hours. It wasn't looking fantastic, but they are up quite a bit now as of recording this, over 17.5% up after hours. So fantastic price action, but why? What happened? Opendoor released earnings after hours, and it was absolutely fantastic. So we're going to talk about the numbers. We're going to talk about further guidance. I'm really excited. And we're going to talk about, if you remember, I made a video back about a week ago on the 2nd talking about Zillow after they shut down their iBuying. It wasn't good, guys, and I gave you an example of a home here in my community that Zillow purchased. Guess what? The price dropped again, so we're going to talk about that too. And yeah, Zillow is not doing well, needless to say, but Opendoor is really figuring out this iBuying thing. Now, real quick, for those of you who aren't familiar with what Opendoor is, if you aren't familiar with the real estate market at all, hopefully you bought and sold a home, maybe you're too young, I don't know, but Opendoor kind of cuts out the middleman. They cut out the real estate agents. They buy directly online from consumers. That's what an iBuyer is. Now, Opendoor is really figuring out this model. You'll see that when we start digging into these numbers a little bit. This is a really good thing for Opendoor. They're figuring out this iBuying thing, and Zillow did terrible. Redfin not doing so well either. So we'll talk about Opendoor and their numbers here real quick. Here's a little snippet from CEO and co-founder of Opendoor, Eric Wu. He says, "We exceeded our expectations in generating $2.3 billion of revenue, acquiring 15,181 homes, and delivering over $170 million of contribution profit and $35 million of adjusted EBITDA. This is the byproduct of our focus on the consumer experience and strong, consistent execution. Revenue in the last 3 months ended in September rose 72% year over year to $2.3 billion, yielding a net loss of 9 cents a share. Analysts have been modeling $2 billion in revenue and negative 17 cents per share of EPS. So they beat across the board. This is fantastic. Fantastic news for Opendoor. But what is Opendoor doing different from the other iBuyers? They're using artificial intelligence that they've been developing for a very long time to buy these homes and make decisions based on market data, real market data. They're not sending out droves of people that are incentivized by making deals like Zillow did. This is a really bad deal for Zillow. So let's pull up that home we talked about the other day on the 2nd. If you remember, Zillow bought this home on 4/30/2021 for $364,800. If you're cheating and you're looking up there, I appreciate you, but you can see that this is nowhere near the purchase price. So they listed it a month later for $386,200. That would have been a little bit of a profit. That would have been nice. Then a month, roughly a couple weeks later, they lowered the price again. They lowered the price again a couple weeks later. They lowered the price again. And finally, 3 months later, they lowered the price to below what they bought it for. And then it just kept going downhill from there until the most recent price change. 3 days after I made that video, they lowered it another $10,000. This was just priced at $319,900. They're losing a ton of money on these homes. A ton. They weren't making good decisions on homes. Opendoor is the opposite. I keep talking about Opendoor and how I've received offers from Opendoor. Since I made the video on November 2nd, I've been contacted by Opendoor via email, not like a ton of phone calls or anything like that, via email. Just a way to kind of keep top of mind. I've been contacted 2 more times in the last week and a half saying, hey, look, recent homes have sold in your neighborhood. Here's what the value of your home is now. Here's what we're willing to pay. And it's gone up in the last week and a half. That's really, really good because there was a comparable sale in the neighborhood. So things to keep in mind is Opendoor is doing really well in this space. The proof is in the pudding in the revenue growth, over 70% revenue growth from a year-over-year standpoint. That's exciting. I didn't know if they were going to get there. If you remember my last video, I was saying, look, this may not be a buy right now because I don't know where Opendoor is going to go after earnings. I don't know if they're going to hit these earning numbers, but they hit across the board. Now, I do want to caution you. If you look at the major indices, guys, the S&P 500 was down 0.82. The Dow was down 0.66. NASDAQ was down 1.44. Bitcoin's down almost 3%. It wasn't looking great for the stock market today. Pretty much everything was red. Opendoor was red. Virtually everything had a rough day today, despite except for a couple companies. But and that's really, we talked about it the other day. There's a lot of uncertainty regarding the Fed right now and whether Jerome Powell will be our Fed chair soon again, whether he'll be renominated. And there's a good chance that he won't because of the inflation data that came out today. Inflation absolutely soared to a 31-year high. That's not good for someone like Jerome Powell. There's going to be people in Joe Biden's ear saying, look, we need to replace him right now. He came out and talked about CPI data today, and he said, this is my number one priority to get inflation under control. That's not a good look for Jerome Powell. So markets like Jerome Powell, they like the certainty of what he brings to the market. They know where he stands. They know whether he's going to raise rates or not, whether he's going to taper or not. He's been very communicative, more so than I've seen any Fed since I've been paying attention to the market. He's out there communicating constantly, and that gives certainty to the market. Now, the uncertainty is we don't know who Joe Biden might nominate to that post, and that worried the market today. So that's something to keep in mind in the short term with any stock in the stock market right now, including Opendoor, including these stellar earnings. They could continue to rise, but I want to remind you where the price was when we made this video on the 2nd, okay? So here is November 2nd here on the chart here on tipranks.com. This is where it dropped during the day when Zillow said, look, we're getting out of the business. We're done. We're not doing this anymore. We're firing a bunch of people. This was terrible for us. It did rise after hours that day, and it finished. It was like around $22 per share when we made that video after hours. Now, the stock is trading at $22.91. It's a little bit above where it was that day. I would still caution you right now until we get a little more certainty in the market. I believe this is a fantastic long-term company. I believe this is a fantastic place to buy. I believed in it when it was in the 30s, when it was 18, when it was 13. I love this company. I really think that this space, real estate, is ripe for disruption, and I think Opendoor is doing the right things. And I think they continue to prove that with their earnings reports, especially the last couple. So, guys, thank you so much for joining me for another video. I appreciate each and every single one of you. As always, if you found any value at all or learned something new, let me know by hitting that like button and that subscribe button down below. And as always, I'll see you in the next video.